Alright, so stop being a bitch and start taking risks. So, we're doing a bit of a different format. For this one, we're doing the whole whiteboard fucking can draw type of thing. So, this is what we're gonna do. This is how we're gonna roll. So, you need to stop being a bitch and you need to start taking risks. So, the first thing is life isn't safe. Okay? Like, people have this flawed idea in a Western world that life is safe. But then the question is, well, is life actually safe? Because, like, I mean, sure, so it's safe in the sense that you got your little crib here. It's safe in that sense, you got a roof over your head. It's safe in a sense, maybe you got a fucking job, you get the fucking money. You got your crib, you got your money. Okay, so you're not starving to death, right? So that's great, but the real question is, how much of that actually applies? Because on the surface level, I mean, look, these are both, I mean, this is surface level shit, this. Because on the surface it's this, but then you wait 1 second and you get into war. So now that thing that has been safe on the surface level, is it still safe? Because now we're talking war. Okay? Because on the surface level everything is safe. You got your crib, you got this. But on every single second, shit can go horribly wrong and you can end up in war. So you got Russia, you got Ukraine, you got the fucking Middle East. You're just fucking shooting fucking missiles into someone's crib. So the very texture of life, first of all, life isn't safe. The texture of life isn't safe. There is nothing safe about life itself. Right? That's something you gotta understand. Life isn't safe. And so the same goes for, like, look, one good way of looking at this is women. So, like, so here's this chick, fucking long hair, whatever the fuck. Okay, so you want this chick. Now, if you're a retard, or blue pill, whatever, what you'll do is you'll maybe tell her, well, you won't directly just say, sup. You won't just directly actually talk to this chick. What you'll do by playing it safe is you'll sit here and go, you'll just think about it like this. Instead of just walking up to her and speaking. Okay? Meanwhile, there is this other motherfucker over here that just goes retard mode, doesn't think about what he says, talks to this chick, and ends up getting her, whereas you're over in this fucking corner, walking around the fucking room like this, should I, what should I say, So, like, if you play it safe with women, like, obviously they don't harass people, but again, if you play it safe, you're not gonna fucking get anywhere, because then this retard motherfucker over here, this Chad, is just gonna walk up, talk, say what is on his mind, and he's gonna get this chick, whereas you're gonna do all of this shit, and you ain't gonna get jack shit fucking anywhere. And so the thing is, like, life isn't safe by the very nature of it. Safe won't get you anywhere. And so, like, if you look at it in this context, safe isn't safe. Like, safe isn't safe. Because, like, the extreme version of safety would be something along the lines of, let's say this is your house from a bird's eye view. And you just live here, you walk around here, but you never go outside. If you only live in your house, this is safe. You won't get into a car accident. Nothing's gonna happen to you. But the only thing that's gonna happen to you is you're gonna live to 80 and you're gonna die. Now on surface this is safe, but it's more like hell. I mean, prison is, well, depends on the prison. Prison isn't necessarily safe, but you get the idea. So like safe isn't safe. And it goes to also say that stagnation is really damn risky. Because a part of what's risky with stagnation is this. So let's say you start going to the gym. And let's say your goal is really, you want to be fucking massive, you want to get big. So you're making progress here. Then at this level, you go, you know what? I actually am satisfied at this level. Now, my handwriting is fucking dope. Anyways, so let's say you're satisfied at this level. What ain't gonna happen now? Here's what isn't gonna happen. What isn't going to happen is that you shoot past this level. No, what will happen with time is that you slowly start to dwindle away. You lose. This is what's gonna really happen. Because once you stagnate, once you feel like you have enough, your shit goes down. Now of course, like, you can build this shit up quite quickly again, because you got all of the muscle memory, all of that shit. But in terms of if you feel satisfied, and in terms of you not focusing on building muscle anymore because you think you have enough, well, this is gonna be your peak right here, and it's gonna start to go down. I mean, that's really just what will happen. Alright? So, stagnation, like, look, the same goes for business. You can do this with business as well, so you feel like you're getting enough clients, and then, well, once you get to that point, you're probably gonna lose it. Because the momentum you have here to really break past here, really to reach new levels, you lose it at this point. Maybe you'll go like still a bit above this level, just purely because of the momentum you had here when you were really at it, but then you're gonna lose it. So that's part one. Now the second part of it is just don't let fear cage you. Because part one is safe isn't safe. Part two is don't let fear cage you. So, like, when you look at a lot of people, like, let's say you're doing YouTube, right? Like we're doing right now. And you think about like what, so, well, let's put it like this. So people will hate and mock other people's content. Hate, mock. Like, I'm just saying it because my fucking handwriting is that great. But people will hate and people will mock on other people's content. Now ask yourself this. Making content is dope, but what do you think the chances are that someone that does this will actually go and make a YouTube channel and post content themselves? I mean, it's quite low, because what these people have done over here, what these people over here do is they sit around and mock other people for making content. And where that's gonna put them is that this motherfucker won't have the balls to actually go do it himself, because every time he sees a YouTube video he's going, yeah, that's shit. So literally, this motherfucker doesn't have balls to actually make the YouTube videos. So this motherfucker that's hating on people making YouTube videos, that's mocking YouTube videos, doesn't have the balls to actually do it themselves. And what I mean by caging is this. So you get this motherfucker in here. Okay, that's a bit shit, but you have this motherfucker in here, in this cage. Now this motherfucker here thinks he has free will, but he hasn't never really thought about what he actually fears, what he actually wants to do. And so he wanders around here in this cage. But he's not gonna get out of it. Why? Because he's fucking completely caged himself here. Because YouTube, let's say, which would be on the outside, like, he can have a part of him that, yeah, you know what, making videos would actually be dope. But you know what? That type of video is cringe, every type of video is cringe. So he won't make the YouTube videos because he's caged by fear. And it's just gonna keep him stuck. And this is how most people live. It doesn't have to be YouTube, it can be really anything. But most people live caged to fear and they don't even realize it. So let me tell you something. And why this is actually at 75%. Well, let me see this shit. Yeah. So I think that's the default. So I don't really go on social media anymore, but I saw this World Cup thing on IG. So there is this reel with, I don't know if you know who Speed is, but there is this reel with Speed. And it's about his World Cup performance, so he was singing this World Cup song, right? Have zero clue how well he actually did. Now, then you get these motherfuckers, these fucking twats, commenting over here. And guess what these people comment? They don't go, man, shit, this motherfucker got to do the World Cup. No, they go, fuck Speed. Speed did a shit job, fuck this, Speed can do that for fucking anything. I would have, like, they like, these motherfuckers in the comment section of a reel of Speed performing at the World Cup have the audacity to say, I would have done better. Like, first of all, those motherfuckers don't have the balls to do it, okay? They don't have clout, okay? They probably haven't made a single video on YouTube, let alone stream. Why? Because they're pussies. Yeah, they still have the fucking audacity to say, I would have done better. But what this is they don't accept the fears they have. They refuse to see the fears that they actually have, because it's not, because if they would have done it better, then they would have done it. Okay? It's like, I was reading this book today. There's this idea, like, people do what they want. Okay? People virtually always do what they want. And so what that means is, if you haven't made a YouTube vid, the reason why you haven't made this is because you didn't want to. Had you wanted to make this, you would have made it. Now, of course, then there is fear, and so you gotta deal with the whole fear situation. And the way to deal with the fear situation is this. So, most fear is, first of all, irrational. Like, most fear, straight up, doesn't make any sense. Because you're not really afraid of specific things, you're more like afraid of proxies. Because there is not, like, of course, like, war is one thing. But it's not like, you're not really afraid of the fucking lion eating you. This isn't what you're afraid of anymore. And so fear becomes this new force that kind of gets relentless, because since you're not afraid of war, since you're not afraid of fucking lions, your brain still, as due to evolution, wants to be afraid of shit. But now it can be afraid of war, it can be afraid of lions, so then it gets afraid of shit like YouTube vids. And the main issue with YouTube videos is something along the lines of socials. Because in the past you'd get shunned for this. Like if you make a shit YouTube video in the past, really think about it, and then you get a lot of hate. In the past, well, you'd probably die, like straight up. But this of course doesn't, like you don't die nowadays if you make a shit YouTube video, but that's what your brain thinks. Because it still thinks that you're roaming around with lions and shit. Even though you're not. And so, the thing is, you only wanna fear fear. And this is something that 50 Cent talks about. You wanna attack fear. And so, you might ask, well, what do you mean attack fear? Well, you need to ask yourself this. What do you fear? What are the things that you actually fear? Write them down. And then, like I did this at one point. Right? But you gotta write those down. Maybe if you haven't talked to chicks, maybe it's that. Maybe it's cold calling. Maybe it's knocking on doors. Maybe it's working in construction. Maybe it's being sleep deprived. Can be fucking anything. And so you gotta figure out, what are you afraid of? What do you fear? And you wanna make a point and a case of then attacking that exact fear. Because the only way to deal with fear is to attack. You don't get rid of fear by staying inside your little box. The only way to deal with fear is to, let's say, you're here, this is you, you're the stick man, and this is fear. The only way to deal with fear is to go from here into here. This is the only way. There's no other way. You gotta figure out, okay, what is the thing that you're afraid of? And then just willingly face it head on. Now you don't have to go into the, I don't know, my handwriting is great, but you don't have to go into the deep end necessarily. You want to do one step. You want to do one step at a, fucking hell, that shit. But you want to do one step at a time. So if your fear is posting a YouTube video, it's easy to talk which is why I do it. So the way you have to start attacking fear is you take the YouTube vid. You don't have to, like, fuck this. Fuck posting the YouTube vid. Maybe the first step you do is just figure out, okay, how to make one. Like, assuming this is something you want to do. But also, with attacking fear, it also applies to shit you don't necessarily want to do. Because once you clear Where's the box? Because once you get outside of this box, where fear has caged you, it then gives you freedom. That's why you want to attack fears that you don't, like, obviously, if you're afraid of, I don't know, dangling off a cliff, maybe don't do it, but the point is, you don't want to let fear control you. And really the way to do it, again, is maybe just watch a how-to video on it. Maybe step 2, record. And again, do the smallest thing you can to make progress on it. You don't have to fucking post. You can record a YouTube video. Heck, you can do 5 YouTube videos and never post. Because that's gonna allow you to move your boundaries and adjust them one step at a time. Because making this massive change is hard. But if you just record 5 YouTube videos, keep them unlisted, that will do wonders for you. So, step 1, life isn't safe. Stagnation is key. Well, is risky, right? Stagnation is risky. Again, you don't want to let fear cage you. And really the only thing you want to be afraid of is fear. Because fear will cage you and put you in this hell state and just fuck up your life if you let it. But if fear is the only thing you're afraid of, then there is one thing left, which is to attack the fear head on. So last but not least, take action. So write out a list of the shit you're afraid of. And then all you have to do is take one step today to making a difference, to attacking those fears. If you're afraid of going to a certain place, go do that. Or at least look at photos of the place. Doesn't have to be big, but just do the smallest shit that will push you in the right direction, that will push you to beating fear. So that fear doesn't cage you, and you can ultimately move into a life of freedom. Where fear doesn't control you, where you can take the action you want to take, where you can make the place you want to make. Where it's not like these dorks here, who are just yapping about speed this, speed that, where they're all pussies and don't even have the balls to do a live stream themselves. Motherfuckers. Bit of a different style today. No idea how long this video is. Did fucking 22 slides, handwriting is a bit shit, but really that's all I got for you today, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.